Welcome back to Bespoke Addict. I've got a jumble of crocodile skins here. I've made a few videos before, and first video I said I was going to save as much as possible and just sort of take the original skins and back the original skins with chamois leather. This is just the type of thing you'd wash a car with. It's very floppy, very thin, but it's pretty stable and it's quite strong. So to use the chamois leather and glue it both sides and then trim all the way, and that would really stabilize what we've got here. And then I made another video saying that I thought these were just too potentially rotten. The straps definitely are. This one, as discussed in a previous video, has got red rot. That's what this horrible red fibrous stuff is. There's no chance of saving that. That's got to go. I won't be saving that. That will get thrown in the bin. It's like a fungus type, you know, and it does spread. So I don't want that getting on my decent skins. Now I've got the bag apart, and I've decided I'm definitely going to be changing the straps. I'll just throw that one out of the way. But I'm actually going to save the loops. The buckle goes through here. It's not bad, actually. It's not bad. It's reasonably stable, and I'll stabilize it further with the chamois leather. Glue it on, really sort of press it down when it's dry, trim around the edges, and we've got all the original holes, and it will just add the strength. So I've changed my mind. So I'm going to save this, these, this. They're getting saved. This one is pretty shot, as is the other one's got red rot. These are the actual, it's got the little holes in for the buckle. So, and I've got this skin here, which is off a bag, and that will make, you know, let's just take the one with the red rot, and it's quite nice. It's thick, it's tough, it's pretty strong. So what I'm going to do is just mark this out a little bit with a China graph. There we go. And so if I just mark out, let's have a look. So I want the larger scales towards the top and smaller scales towards the bottom. Where do I go here? We've got a series of small scales here. They'd be okay. Or do I just go for the bigger ones? Not sure. Just fish this around. I'll draw it on with a China graph. I can always erase it, and then I will I'll cut it out. Oh, I broke the end of the China graph off. I was going to do this on camera, but I broke the China graph. Let me just pause the camera. I need to get my knife. I've broke the tip. Let me just pause the camera. I'll get my knife and I will sharpen the China graph. Right, I'm back. Forgive me. They're quite soft, these China graphs. So let me just use this cheap knife just to put another head on the China graph. Come on, that's it. That'll do. There we go. That'll do. So let's just draw this on, then we can delete it if I'm not happy. There's actually a hole in the skin just there. Can we see daylight through that? I can see daylight. I'm not sure if the camera can. So we need to avoid that bit. This is the problem with these skins, you see. So there's a hole in it here. There's a hole there. These would have been in there all the time. In fact, this is a patch. When I dismantled this bag, it had various little tiny patches on the back, you know, to hide the holes. And it was assembled like that and sold like that. So this isn't the best of quality skins. But those have been there since, you know, it came out of the tannery probably 75 years ago. There's another one here, another, you know, and it actually had patches. So, you know, I saved the patches so I could show you. That's just one. But that's it's quite common. There's another one you can actually see is a flat spot here. I don't know if the camera can pick it up. It's got like nap, and then there's a flat spot there because there was a patch, not this particular patch, but there was a patch glued on that of course couldn't be seen from the other side. But whatever, I will be lining this skin with the chamois, glue it on, and if there's any colour showing through, I'll just feed a bit of dye through the hole. Anyway, let's stop rambling and see if I can just find a suitable location, avoiding that hole there. We don't really want that because that will split. Let's just, do I go that way? That might be the way. Do it lengthwise. You know, I think, yeah, that might be the way. Let's just draw it on. No harm in drawing this on. There's already a couple of holes. There we go. Just to give you a sense, I'll draw this on roughly and then trim it out with the use of a little steel rule. But I don't want to be trimming anything until I've marked it all out and I'm satisfied the shape's good, the scale's good, and this just gives you a sense, really. Let's have a look. A rough pattern with the China graph. There we go. Yeah, you get the idea. Actually, it looks reasonable. Actually, it slipped slightly. Yeah, I've drawn that side twice, so I need to delete that little bit, rub it off, and I'll just be a bit more careful. Truthfully, I'm working slightly awkwardly for the camera. I'd like to sort of get in like this and get right over it, but of course you'll only see my shoulder. So I'll make a better job off camera, but you get the idea. Yeah, I think that will make a very good strap, in fact. Yes, it will. But I just need to get the shape correct before I take, to take a knife to this. And then, of course, we've got the other strap. The other one's a bit more, it's in pieces, you know, there's not much left of it. But I want to produce the holes. I want to replicate all these little holes, the original stitch holes. I'll trace those through with, what's it called, an awl. I want the holes to appear exactly in the right location on the new skins. Because of course the main bulk of the bag has already got the holes poked in. I don't want to be stabbing new holes. I want to be able to, you know, work through what would have been the original holes on replica skin. But, one more I wanted to show you. This is the handle. This is the original handle, and it's a bit fragile. So I'm actually going to be making a complete replica. This will be the top skin. Lovely piece of skin. This will be the bottom skin. But this handle isn't very strong. It's only got a piece of rope inside. Now the rope doesn't really give any strength. The rope gives the nice sort of semicircular shape. And the strength has been relying on the crocodile skin. And crocodile skin isn't very strong. It separates. And in the past, it has separated and broken and the handle's snapped off. And somebody's put on a repair. This piece of skin isn't original. That's been pushed in through the metal loops and then it's been glued and stitched. But that and there, look, you know, this wouldn't have happened if the bag had originally had thick strapping. So I've got an old belt here and this is much stronger. So on the original, which is quite unusual, the crocodile skin is decorative and it's relying on the crocodile for the integrity. That's not usual. What is more normal is they use a saddle type skin, a bridle saddle, that type of thing. Bridle leather is the word I'm scratching around for. You know the stuff, but this is actually off a belt. So that will give the, you know, the belt, the loops to the bag will go through here. And then the crocodile skin will go over the top. And the crocodile skin will be more for decoration. I will scratch out that piece of rope, put the rope in, so we've got the rounded effect. But the strength and the integrity of this new handle will come from the strap. That won't break. The crocodile will just be largely decorative. It will look lovely. It will be slightly thicker than the original, just a little bit thicker. But, and I'm actually going to, for extra strength, I'm actually going to put the chamois leather on the back as well, just because inevitably, with this being a handle and it will be dangling from for the handlebars of my bike, these scales will separate. And if it's glued to chamois, when eventually it separates, I'll be able to squeeze some glue in and re-glue it to the back of the chamois. If I don't do that, I'll be gluing it to the belt, and as the thing bends, it needs to be able to slide. The inner and the outer need to be able to slide, and if they're glued together, it will just crack and rip. So the new belt will be discreet. I keep calling it a belt. The new strap will be discreet, but it will just be a lot more robust. It will look very similar, but the original didn't have this, and I believe it should have done. Most bags have very strong leather, and they only use the Crocodile purely for decorative. It's really not very strong. Crocodile does crack and separate. Even the most fantastic quality of skins, they don't have much strength. They look wonderful, but they're really not very strong. Right, let me stop gossiping. I will spend a bit more time marking this out very carefully, and I'll actually get the size right this time. I'll get my body right in there, and I won't be having to work to the camera, so it won't matter. And yeah, let's get these marked out, and I'll get them trimmed out, and we'll get everything backed. So we've got stable skins to be working with. This needs backing, and this cheap chamois leather is perfect for the job.